Hello, wonderful people, and welcome back to another live with your lady visionary family. How are you doing? Hope you have all been doing amazing, amazing, amazing. A lot is happening in the world right now. A lot is happening in the Americas with regards to the elections, and the winner has been, I guess, announced, and we know who the winner is now. And there's a lot of excitement in America, a lot of sadness, a lot of mixed emotions as I speak. And I really want to hear from you guys out there, you know, my American family, the Black Americans, the African Americans. How are you guys feeling post elections? Is there hope for America? You know, are you still planning on repatriating to Africa? As you enter the chat, I just want you to greet every single one of us, say hello, drop a comment down in the comment section. And I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys, what you have to say with regarding this particular topic. I thought it would be an interesting one to bring here on the platform because there's so much emotions right now all around the world. I guess not just in America, because I guess American politics is kind of thought of around the world and sort of celebrated, I guess, around the world. People have different ideas, opinions when it comes to politics, not just in America, but around the world. So I'm just going to greet some of you I'm going to greet all of you, obviously, but those of you who have commented in the chat, obviously I can bring your comments up and, just say hello, Who have we got in the building? So we've got Andrew, and Andrew is saying, feeling very sad. Why are you feeling very sad? I'm interested to know. Let me know in the comment section, and I will be sending out the link shortly for anybody who has anything they want to share with us. Africa is saying, I already told them that for the whites, people's interests, they will not let Trump win. They will put Biden so that they will still think about change. Now they are even no more on YouTube. Lol. Okay. I didn't quite understand that fully. If you want to come in and chat with us, we've got Ingrid in the building. Hello from Orlando, Florida. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you as well. I just wanted to say as well, Ingrid, thank you so much. I did see your super chat. So thank you so much. That was right at the end of my last live as I was clicking out. So I was just like, I need to come back and also appreciate you for that live chat support. So thank you so much. It didn't go unnoticed. Let's just say that. Okay. Ingrid is saying Biden is the president of the United States. Yes, he is. And Trump is throwing a fit right now. When I was last watching the news, apparently he was out playing golf. Like, he's not taking the news very well. And apparently there's been some fraud in the elections. Guys, I don't know. What do you think about this? Like, is it the fact that he's just been a sore loser? Let me know what you think, guys. Let me know what you think. So the topic, guys, I just want to let you guys know the topic. I'll just put it up on the screen there for you guys to have a look, because I do want to hear from you guys. I was trying to send out the link in the comment section, but I've had to put the link in the description bar. So if you do want to come in and talk to me here on the live, you'll have to go to the description box, and then you've got the link there that you can come and talk to the people. Let me know what you guys are thinking, the Black community. How are you feeling? Are you feeling hopeful that, Biden is, or Joe Biden, sorry, is the new president of the United States? Are you feeling hopeful? Like, are you thinking to stay in America, or are you still exiting? Are you still black sitting? Because some people are like, there will be no change. What does this mean for the Black community in America? I want to hear from you guys. I want to know, what you guys are feeling, what you guys are thinking. So do go ahead and let me see if I can actually send out the link. I will try again and see. But you know, if you're new here, please do go ahead and subscribe. Do join the family. Do give this a thumbs up. Let's have a look and see what we can do. Did that go? Let's have a look. Yes, so I've now sent out the link. If anybody wants to come in and chat with me or chat with us, that'll be great. Let's have a look at some more of your comments. Mark is saying now African Americans can breathe. No more killings. Really? Do you think that? Do you think? Well, I'm not sure about that. I'm not completely convinced about that one, but explain to us more. Ingrid is saying, I didn't vote for either of them. I know, because some people were saying, like, whether it's Trump or Joe Biden, they didn't see really a difference. They just thought they're both white supremacists. So I don't know. I'm just kind of saying what people have said, like what I've seen on like social media and things. So yeah, let me know what you think. The link is out there, so please do come in and talk to me. What do you guys think? Is there hope for America now that Biden is president of the United States? Some people, you know, most people seem to be celebrating. People are happy. People I know from the UK, in Switzerland, you know, they've been celebrating, you know, but yeah, Trump, it seems to be quite upset. He seems to be quite, you know, he's not impressed with what's going on. And do you think he will, like, it doesn't seem that he's going to leave the White House without making a lot of noise. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Is there hope for the Black community now that Joe Biden is president? What do you guys think? And do you feel like, you know, this isn't going to make a difference for the Black community, and you still need to, you know, blacks it as many African Americans, you know, you guys have been joining that journey of sort of moving to the continent. Has this changed your mind, or are you still on your way out of America? Guys, I've sent the link out. Please do go ahead and talk to me. You don't have to show your face if you don't want to. Just let me know what you're thinking. Mark is saying, I'm afraid that your statement is not true. Okay, yes, exactly. Things don't just happen overnight. You know, this has been going on for years with regards to the atrocious murder of Black people in America. So this is dating back way back when. I don't think things are just going to change just like that. It will take time. But yeah, let me know, guys, what you think. Oh, you're welcome, Lady Visionary. Oh, thank you. So Dominic is saying, I think the baby named Trump needs some milk. Oh my God, there's a lot going on social media right now. Like, I watched a clip not too long ago of basically, you know, I guess it's Joe Biden. Basically, it was just a comedy sketch. And basically Joe Biden saying to Trump, you know, it's time to pass the ball now. And he's like, no, I don't want to. No. And, you know, it's really hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Trump seems to be in his own world. Like, yeah, he's off playing golf. Like, he's not really responding. He's not really responding very well. You know, he's not responding very well at all. But in my opinion, really, I feel like Trump's time in office, like things that he's posted on social media, his level of maturity has been questionable. Like, he's put out information that's inaccurate. Like, everybody seems to be publishing fake news according to Trump. You know, it's always like, yep, fake news. He doesn't seem to accept criticisms very well. That's what I've got from Trump over the last, 4 years. Guys, the topic today is Black and African Americans. How are you feeling post-elections? Is there hope for the Black community in America? And, you know, has this changed your mind with regards to leaving America to Africa? I will put the link out again. I really hope that someone will come in and talk to me, because I don't like talking to myself. I really want this to be a discussion. I really want to hear from you. Mark is saying that Trump, he's totally a loser. Yeah, he's just basically, he's behaving like a sore loser. Like, I think the best thing he can do is just to man up and, you know, just address the situation for what it is. But maybe he needs some time for it all to sink in, because he really believed that he would win. He really believed he would win. And he believes at the moment that the elections have been tampered with. But people are saying there's no evidence. There is no evidence to suggest that this wasn't a fair election. And, you know, Trump, you just need to take it for what it is, you know. Right, let's see, guys. If you haven't already done so, please do hit the like button. Yeah. So yeah, Ingrid is also telling you guys to hit the like button, fam, as you enter the chat. What do you guys think? Nothing will change for the Black community. So sad. It's so sad. But people think that there will be a change now that, you know, Trump is out the way. Maybe we will start to see a change for the Black community in America. You know, now that Trump is no more. Okay. Chuck is saying no more killings, huh? Shaking my head. Yeah, like with regards to killings, as I said, it won't change overnight. This is something that has been, you know, going on for so long in America. So definitely, I don't believe that the fact that Joe Biden is now the president of the United States, that this will just change. And, you know, sometimes people are elected, you know, like when they're campaigning, they will say whatever they need to get the votes and get the position. But what will they do when they're actually in office? So that's something that we have to wait for, I guess. We have to wait. Dominic is saying, choosing between the wolf and the fox in the US. Oh my goodness. Hassan is saying Biden is a white man. We're still going to go through the same ish. Yeah, many people believe that it will just be the same. There won't be that much change, really. It's still white supremacy, white supremacy. So whichever one won, you'd get the same thing. But I don't know, guys. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Guys, I have sent out the link, so please do go ahead and, you know, click on the link if you want to come and speak to me live, speak to the audience live. I do only have 1 hour here, so the more you guys just quickly engage, the better, to get the conversation really going. I was hoping to hear from some of my Black American people, my African American people. What do you guys think about, you know, the whole elections? And, you know, now that, you know, we have a new, well, I'm saying we, you guys in the Americas have this new president. And yeah, are you still leaving America, or are you staying? Are you feeling hopeful now that Joe Biden is president? I mean, he has said some promising things for the Black community. And yeah, Mark is saying Trump, he's arrogant. He doesn't have respect for Blacks, even his own whites. He don't have respect for them. I must say, Mark, I agree with you. Like, I've just not understood Trump one bit. I've tried to understand him, but I haven't been able to understand him. I believe that he, as you've rightly said, he's just expressed himself to be a very arrogant person, very, very arrogant person. And when I was watching, like, you know, when there was a lot going on with regards to the Black Lives Matter and the shooting of you know, George Floyd and all the protests. Oh my God, I heard him speak and I just thought he's someone who he's not interested at all in the black community. And like he wasn't he's someone that cannot pretend to care. And that showed in his demeanor that Trump, he's not for black people, and he finds it very difficult to even say a few positive words to the black community. That was evident through his speeches and his body language, which was, you know, shocking for a president, you know, and the way that he's stirred up a lot of mess and caused a lot of division in America. That's been quite alarming, but not, I guess, you know, people would say it's not surprising. Come on, like, what do you expect? I was watching earlier on, actually, they were saying that America is more divided than it was in the 1860s. And I was like, wow, this man, Trump, has really stirred up the pot. So, you know, the fact that Joe Biden, is he at least a little bit better than Trump? And we can be hopeful for the future of America, because, you know, that's why you would like elect a new president, right? Because you want to see change. Guys, what are you saying? You guys are making me speak to myself here. The Trump presidency was a wild ride, that's for sure. I agree. I agree. I agree. It's crazy. And like Trump, he like for Rwanda, I know that he Rwanda stopped the import of secondhand clothes, and he basically increased the fees for Rwandan exports into America, which is quite high actually. So, you know, that's put Rwanda at a disadvantage. But I like that President Kagame has really stood his ground. So now that he, you know, Trump will be out of office very soon, I hope that will be very positive for Rwanda. Lance Kelly, hey, how are you doing? I'm still returning home. So yeah, Lance Kelly, she's still returning home. The fact that Joe Biden has been elected is not stopping her from getting to the motherland. Ingrid is saying Mark Trump don't respect anybody. I see that. Yeah, I guess not only the black community, I think he just feels like he is just way up there and everybody else is just on the ground, basically. Like, I guess it's not just the black community, but I feel like he expresses it more, that he doesn't care really about, you know, people have different layers. Maybe like for him, black people are like there, and you know, like he's just crazy. He's just absolutely crazy, I think. And his Twitter rants, like this guy's Twitter rants are off the scale. What? I remember when I was watching something and with regards to COVID, and Trump was saying, yeah, you know, like disinfectant, you know, I'm sure you can like inject it. And like, what? Inject disinfectant? Are you crazy? Like, why? How do you, like, why would you say such a thing? Being in a position of leadership in the pandemic, and then you go and say something like that, something so crazy such as that. I was just like, this man, he's lost it, basically. But I know some people like him. I know some people are upset that he's not serving another term. But I think a lot of people as well were fed up of his level of maturity and the way he's dealing with certain things. I know there's an outbreak at the moment in his office because quite a few people have tested positive for COVID-19. You know, he really downplayed the coronavirus situation in America from the very beginning. So many people have died who, you know, that could have been avoided if only he had kind of dealt with it, you know, dealt with it properly and believed that basically things were real. So Carl Lane, I'm certainly still coming. Biden Biden is better, but America is still a white country. Yes, I understand. No, like that's what I want to hear. I hope that the fact that, you know, obviously not everybody is going to repatriate to the continent for various reasons. And Africa is not for everybody. But I hope that the people who had chosen to relocate to the continent, that this election did not sway them or change their mind, because, you know, Africa's beautiful. You need to be there, you know, especially if you've never visited. Africa is beautiful. There's a lot of work to do, but it's absolutely beautiful. So for me, many of you guys already know, um, within the next few weeks, I will be in Rwanda, all being well. And I'm excited and I can't wait. I just can't wait. Yeah. So I know some of you guys are thinking about relocating to Rwanda. I've had, you know, emailed and lots of messages and comments under my videos. So I know quite a few of you are thinking about relocating to Rwanda. And I know a couple of you, again, will be there in the next couple of weeks. So I look forward to seeing you guys on the ground. So those of you who are just coming in, the topic, I'll just put it up on the screen so you guys can see what we're talking about. So again, Black and African Americans, how you feel in post-elections? Is there hope for America? And are you still thinking about repatriating to Africa? You know, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Let's see. Yeah, the killings will continue. Unfortunately, it's deeply embedded within the system, and, you know, especially like the police brutality. Sometimes I feel when you know, like what happened with George Floyd, and, you know, but then still so many other people have lost their lives at the hands of the police. And it's like the law doesn't apply to the police. They can do whatever they want to the Black community. So it'll be interesting to see, now that Joe Biden's in power, what happens moving forward for the Black community, especially when it comes to police brutality against Black people in America. Guys, can you come in and talk to me? Can you come in and talk? Right, I'm going to send out the link and see. Otherwise, I will be rounding up soon, guys, because I really didn't want to talk to myself. I don't usually talk too much politics here on the channel, but I really just wanted to come on and hear what you guys have to say. I know, obviously, you guys are very active in the comment section. I can see your comments. I've just gone and sent the link out again, just in case. So on election night, November 2016, I said to myself that he should announce that he was going in for one term only and would not seek a second, since he already had made his point. Yeah, I hear you. I understand. The police is the new KKK. Goodness, yeah, it's exactly what I think. I'm just speechless, really. I know, but I really hope. I know people are saying that Joe Biden, there's really no difference, but I really hope that there will be some change, especially for the Black community, when it comes to their lives and police brutality, because I am tired. I'm sick and tired of every other day and so on, that when, like, whether that be through like Facebook or Instagram, I'm seeing another Black man, mostly, being, his life has been cut short by the police. And it's, you know, it's something that's totally should never have happened. Like, people being killed in broad daylight in front of the cameras, like George Floyd. Like, that image is still in my head, and I don't think it will leave my head. Actually, it's just been, it was that sad. You know, there's so many others to talk about, you know, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, is it Arbery? Yeah. The African Chronicles is in the building, and relocation in Africa is on my mind for years, and US election won't change anything about it. The African Chronicles, come and talk to the people. If you're in the building, come and share some information with us. So we're here for not very long. I will be probably exiting quite soon because I was expecting, you know, a little bit more engagement so the people would come in and talk to me, but everyone's being a bit shy. They may not want to show their faces, talk about politics, and I do understand. The police have always been the KKK. I totally agree with that one. Totally agree. Is this a question about Rwanda? Okay, can you open a Rwanda bank account from abroad for the people who want to move to Rwanda, Africa? Okay, so normally, the answer to this question, normally you would open the bank account on the ground. Yeah, so that's when you arrive in Rwanda, you can go straight to the bank. So that's either Bank of Kigali, or like the Access Bank. So yeah, we've got a guest here.
Good evening.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. How are you?
I'm well. I'm well. What about you?
Yes, I'm doing good. Let's see, I think I've reduced my volume, so let's have a look and see. Okay, yes, I could hear you better now. How are you doing? It was just a quick one. I don't normally talk so much politics, especially like American politics.
Yeah, me too. I must admit, I'm not very fond of this country anyway. And look at me living in Canada and the next door. But my point is, like I said, it would be Trump, Joe Biden, whoever. It won't change a thing. I don't think this country was meant to be for us. We tried our best to survive in this country. We all know the history of this country so well. So those who want to stay, well, do whatever you can, do what you think suits you the best. But personally, my plan is done. I mean, I'm working hard to make money, to put money aside and to move to Africa as soon as possible. And like we said earlier, like we said in another uh, um, show, some people may go, some people may not. Some people won't see the positive side of Africa because the mind, in my opinion, is not set for this. Some people will always find an excuse not to go, not to visit, not to do anything. Like I said, it's called natural selection. So let them be. What we need to do is still talking about it, still trying to make people aware of the beauty of Africa and the potential of Africa. But the first point is, let's talk about it, but let's do about it. That's important because if we keep talking without doing anything, those people say, "But what about you? You keep talking, but what did you do about it?" See, so once you do about it and succeed, I believe we succeed if we work hard with the strategy and the plan. I believe we will succeed, and the rest of us will see us and say, "Oh, wait a minute." So they were not just talking; they were doing about it, and it's working. And then all of a sudden, you're gonna have a lot of friends approaching you and ask you, what do you do to do this? How can you do this? How can you do that? What about this and what about that? See, so sometimes you best not talk too much and just do what you need to do and see the result. I mean, that's my point.
Thank you so much for your contribution. You hang around for us. We've got, is it, oh goodness, how do I see the names again? Sorry. Oh, it's Anjay. Yes. Let's unmute your mic and hear from you. Well, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you, Anja Africa.
Oh, hi.
I called in the other day. I was speaking to you. I was telling you I was from Reading, Pennsylvania. You had a guest on that was from the same area.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
So
you have your camera on, I don't think. Is that right?
Exactly, because I had my bonnet on, so I can't come out like that, you know. So I want to say I'm so thrilled to be on your panel. I like both of you guys. I'm subscribed to your channels, as you know.
Thank you.
Um, I saw the title, and you know, I said, let me pop in because I have to tell you, I am not moved by any of this. I'm really not. I had made a decision. I struggled initially, and then I made a decision that I was not voting because I thought both the candidates were garbage. And people were just outraged, like, how could you not? You know, this is what our ancestors died for. And I'm like, no, let's get it right. Our ancestors died so that they didn't have to succumb to white supremacy. They did not just die for the vote. And if they die, I think they'd be turning in their graves right now if they knew that we were voting for candidates that did not have our best interest in mind. So for me, both candidates were two sides of the same coin.
Oh,
That
wow.
was my general feeling. So now everybody's in an uproar and I feel so good because I'm just calm. Because my thing is, why are y'all really flipping out when you know it's going to be, he is not going to let go of this office without a fight. And even if he does, he still controls all of the local government underneath that makes the laws. He made sure he put Republicans and he put all of these folks that actually make the laws in place. So what are we really fighting about? We need to be focusing on either you're going to stay and you're going to fight or you're going to exit. Okay? And so my plan is exit. I already bought my tickets. My son is kind of resistant. You know, he's going to be 18. So his thing is, I'm graduating. I get to live on my own. I'm like, oh no, not without a trip to Africa, my brother.
Wow.
So I already bought the tickets. December 1st, we are going to Ghana,
Wow.
Sierra Leone, because I'm going to apply for my citizenship.
Wow.
And then we will go to the Gambia. We'll come back. He can finish high school and decide if he wants to move with me in June or not. But I feel like this trip is part of his rites of passage for his manhood. He has to come to Africa.
Wow. I can just applaud you for that because I think it's phenomenal. Definitely. You need to take him there and he needs to, just gain that insight into Africa and then kind of make that decision with you. But one of the things that people have said is that, like, obviously Trump has a lot of supporters, but a lot of people are saying that anything is better than Trump. So the better option is Joe Biden, and there's a Black Indian vice president also behind him. What would you say?
I'm sorry, did I laugh out loud?
Oh,
That's what I have to say. I really feel like, quite honestly, I think that Biden is on his deathbed and Black folks are praying for a savior. They think that this mixed individual is going to step into place and look out for Black people. But what they forget is that she was a prosecutor.
Thank you.
This is a woman that incarcerated Black men on marijuana charges, and her department was held under many charges, cases against her departments for the cases that they tried. Now, I know my sorors would be outraged right now because I'm an AKA. So everybody who's an AKA is just like, oh, we got one going for president. First of all, I don't see her as a sister, and I don't care if she's Greek or whatever else she is. Before I'm anything, I am a Black woman. So before I am Greek, before I'm a woman, I am Black first. That's just my standpoint. So I opted out of the election. I did work the polls because, $1 toward my repatriation, I'm going to get that any way I can. So yes, I did. I worked. I also worked the census because for some reason they have us thinking that we count in these communities and that's going to bring more money to our schools. Again, money toward my repatriation.
right?
Outside of that, I just see the whole situation as hopeless.
No, I do understand, and it's interesting because for me, it like whilst being here, I'm just thinking, what can I do to bring that back home? And that's what you're basically saying, and I think that's a message to everyone else out there, like, especially the Black community. What has America been doing for you, and how can you use whatever to your advantage to get to the continent? That's it. That should be the priority, full
That's
stop.
it. Once I heard that they did not support reparations and that they were pushing that COVID vaccine, I was like, there is no way. There is no way. I don't care. I don't care what color you are. If that's your agenda, that's not for me and mine. I just wanted no parts of it. So I got family members not speaking to me now.
Wow.
Friends not, and I'm like, it's cool because we wasn't that tight anyway. My new family is my repatriation family because that is who's going to be on the motherland.
Because the argument is that, like, these people coming into office anyway are, like, whether they're mixed, like people would say, we've got the vice president, they're coming from a colonial mindset. So it's like, what do you think you're going to get that's different for America? Like, that's been some of the arguments. But we've got San in the building. So I just want to say hi, San. Welcome.
Welcome everybody on the panel. I just wanted to say, like, they always want to put a pacifier in the Black community to stop us from, like, hooting and hollering about our issues. And then, okay, we got Biden, so I guess that's the new pacifier. Now everything's just supposed to go back to La La Land, right? But like I said earlier, how is he really for us when he's not us? He's going to say whatever he got to say to get in that seat. And let's just be real with each other, right? Is the presidents really the ones calling the shots? This is a machine. They ain't giving up this. Yeah. They ain't giving up this country. You know how much blood is on American soil? But somebody's going to pay for it. Believe me, God's going to make sure of that. We may not see that in our lifetime, but they will never give up this country. They'll never give us our equal rights. It's not going to happen. We got to take it or just leave, because they got more guns than us. I get that. So we can't go out here acting like it's the Wild Wild West. But stop your money from going to them. Bring it back home to the continent. Let's get together as diasporans and as Africans on the continent, and let's let our money circulate between each other and support each other's brands and clothing and whatever else we buying from the white man, the Gucci, the Prada, the Fendi. We got to get that money out of the West and bring it back home to the motherland. That's what's going to hurt them.
Oh, most definitely. And, we're seeing that, happening at the moment. African Americans, Black Americans, people from the diaspora, they're mobilizing, they're taking their money to the continent. And, these people are not sleeping. They know what is going on. They know what's going on. And, like, the more of us just focus and just, as you say, take our money home, stop buying from these brands that don't even like us anyway. They're advertising to take money. They don't like us. Like, let's just be frank about what it is. They just want our money. And
exactly,
if we really think smart and just took our money from the West and the Americas and go back home and invest that and coming together collectively to just bring about something powerful. I mean, it's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. And that's what I'm looking forward to, basically. I'm just like, Europe, I am done. I'm so done. I've seen it for what it is. I know that there's not going to be any change. I'll be constantly fighting to get recognition, to, like, climb up the ladder in my work and environment, discrimination, feeling that I'm less than because people are trying to make me feel that way. Like, in Africa, I don't have to do that. And it feels great when I'm there. And again, being amongst your own people, it's the feeling that you can never explain. It's just like you feel that this is home, this is where you belong, you know, and there's a sense of peace as well that you get with that. We've got, sorry, who we got? We've got, is it Hamza in the building? Let's hear from Hamza. So let's unmute your mic. Okay, yes, you're unmuted.
Hey,
Hi, how are you?
everyone, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
All right, I think the brother son just said it eloquently that after 400 years, do you think these Europeans are actually going to give up anything in America after they've violated every person that they've encountered? The stranglehold they have in this country, they're not going to let it go. And Africans that are born here, I can't, because even though I was not born in America, I'm from Guyana, South America. So still, it's the Americans, but I don't consider myself American. So in that term, okay. So, but they're not gonna. So even if you put Joe Biden out there, Kamala Harris, it's the same thing. It's just, like you said, the machine is not gonna stop, which is so-called white insecurity. So they're gonna keep reinforcing white insecurity. Obama did it. Kamala Harris is gonna do it. It doesn't matter who is there. So that's the machine. The machine is like in the Matrix, which is white insecurity. Everything the European can exploit other people against, that is going to be his focus. So it doesn't matter who's the figurehead, whether it's Trump, Biden, or whoever it is. The plan is to dominate everyone that you encounter, plain and simple. So we have to stop thinking that the pacification or placating, we're the ones you want to use when it comes to black people.
Sorry, your sound is...
What they keep. At the end of the day, they're not.
Sorry, go ahead. Your sound is...
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me better?
Yes, go ahead.
Hello? Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
So I think what it is, we have to get to the point where we have to start going to the continent, like the brother said, start taking whatever funds that we can, but we have to stop waiting until we retire. As Africans in America, we have to stop waiting until we retire to want to get to the continent. Don't go there when you're broken down. You can't be mobile. You can't really impart any of your knowledge to people by literally being able to be mobile and get doing it when we are younger. So,
yes,
yeah.
I agree.
But retiring is no problem. But we have to start doing it when we're younger.
Sorry, your connection is breaking up. Is it
No.
Just come out and then try again because you're breaking up. So
yeah, the last thing he was saying was stop, don't wait until you're retired. You know, but unfortunately, we've been colonized to think that is the only time you can do these things, right? That you have to retire so you have some kind of check. Otherwise, people are really scared. They're already afraid to go to the continent, but to think that they could just drop everything and go to the continent is like unfathomable for some people. They can't even imagine that is an option. I'm at the point now where I have car payments. I'm ready to give the car back. You can have the car because what you gonna do to me? I'm leaving. I don't care nothing about none of this stuff. I don't want no electric bill. I don't want no gas bill, cable, none of that. You can have it. I'm ready. So I already told my son, get on the train because it's leaving the station.
Wow. No, that's something as well I've spoken about on this channel. Like, there's no time to really wait until retirement. I think it's like, just try to give the best of you now. Like, there's no point in waiting, as he said as well, until, like, you know, you're less mobile. You know, you've got multiple health issues going on, and there's a combination of factors that, you know, then you're thinking, actually, I shouldn't leave. I should stay in the Americas and I should stay in Europe. Actually, let's go now and give the best of us now while we can.
But
and
you can go home. You can
exactly
go home and get healed. Like,
exactly.
People don't even know. You can go home, whatever cancer or illness, ailment you have, you can go home and see the herbalist, and they added years onto your life.
Exactly, because when you go there, definitely I see it. Like as I said, I've been going to Africa since 2011, and definitely I can see how this can improve your quality of life, and as you said, add years to your life. But it's a mindset as well, because if you don't believe it, then you'll never make that move. You would always think, but because everything that you've seen in America has been so glamorous, and you think that it's got the best healthcare in comparison to Africa. But we've spoken about this before as well. A lot of what we've been sold about Africa, it's an absolute lie. So even when people go and they visit, they're like, what? They feel cheated, they feel angry, they feel like so pained up, because for so long they've been thinking that Africa is a particular way, like it's been just negative, and then for them to go and see that, oh my goodness, yes, Africa has its challenges, but it's actually beautiful. Like there's so much that can be achieved here. There's so much potential in comparison to me being in America or Europe. I've definitely seen it. Like I've been in the UK for so long, and I definitely know that Africa is for me. That's it. And there's nothing that can change my mind. Absolutely nothing. No
Can
one.
we just talk about the medical piece real quick? We just had a joke going in one of my other groups that I belong to, and one of the ladies is in Tanzania, and she's ex-military. So she was having some dental work done, and she was saying, she went to the dentist, and I think she might have paid like $200 for a crown, like an implant, a dental implant. And I was like blown away. I'm like, I just had an implant with insurance, and I paid $800 for it. 800 US dollars. She telling me she went to Tanzania, no insurance, paid like 200 for an implant, and she's going back to get all the rest of this work done. So now everybody in the group was like, I'm going to Tanzania to get dental work done. Because, we're given the impression that, oh, they don't have dentists, they don't have proper doctors, they don't have proper equipment. But we don't realize some of the most brilliant people in the world come from the continent.
And
That's right.
if I
Right.
may say
And
something, there is a reason for
Please.
this. There is a very known reason for this. Like I said, let me show you something quickly. I don't know if you can, if you can put it out.
nothing's come up on the screen yet, so guys, please do go ahead and like the stream if you haven't already done so. If you are new to the channel, please do go ahead and subscribe, join the visionary family. So normally if you put something through, it will come through as guest, and then I can basically add to the stream. But I haven't seen anything come up, Shango.
Oh, you haven't. That's weird. Look around on the left corner of your screen. Probably you would see something.
Have a look.
Yep.
No, I'm not
Yep.
seeing it.
Yep.
Not seeing it. Because it would normally pop up on my screen. You've done that before, and it's popped up.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's because I'm streaming from my phone, but it shouldn't make a difference.
Oh, okay, probably. What I wanted to share is a very interesting book called Manufacturing Consent by Noam Chomsky. Very interesting book, Manufacturing Consent. What this book tells you is, to be simple, how to fabricate propaganda and how to make you believe in this propaganda. And that's the reason why we always believe, oh, Africa is dirty, Africa is poor, Africa is ungovernable, Africa is this, Africa is that. And before that, there was this very interesting book that I urge you to read. Is this one, The Miseducation of the Negro.
Yes,
I urge you to read this book. You really got to read this book. It explains everything. And then you understand why some people have many misconceptions regarding almost anything, because it was planned this way. So with those two books, The Miseducation of the Negro and Manufacturing Consent, you will understand everything. That's too bad I cannot share the the picture, but let me put the name on the screen for you, and then you may have it. So that's the reason why we're still brainwashed, because we keep believing in BS we've been told.
Yeah, but it's definitely you recommended a documentary. What was it now? How to Sell to the Negroes as well. And
That's right.
what I did watch that. It was very informative. Like the fact that the black community have been researched in terms of how we spend our money, because their interest was how to get that money into their pockets, and it has been working.
Yep.
And so
Yes.
that's why we need to wake up and know that, look, our
But
money
you
is
know, a big thing for us in the US was the Willie Lynch papers. If you all remember those papers that told you exactly, if you do this, they'll do this. I mean, like you said, they studied us. And unfortunately, many of us are so conditioned that we will not buck the system, even when we know it's wrong. It's like, just be quiet. Don't cause waves. I mean, they have us so controlled to the point that we won't even leave our communities. I was just having this discussion with a brother that was saying, I don't travel. I've never traveled. All I do is work. I work, I take care of my family. I said, don't you understand the slave mentality? We were taught if you run, you get punished. You don't think that has affected us through generations? If we carry our ancestors' DNA, we have to possess that little piece that puts that fear in us that we are not supposed to travel. We are not supposed to expect more than what we have. We are not supposed to buck the system.
yeah,
Hey,
definitely.
can I say something?
Go on, Sam.
I don't know why everybody's so worried about reparations, getting money back. We ain't gonna do nothing but give it back to them anyways. You know, the reparations should be. You know how many times I've been told, go back to Africa, go back to Africa. That should be the reparations. I think all African diasporans should just be able to go to Africa for free. Get on that flight and just go. That's your reparations. I mean, because you say you want us out of your country, but if we're actually gone, America's just going to turn into some boring place that, because we bring everything. Everything that's hot, we got it popping. That's just black people in general. They need our music. They need our shows. And it's a shame what they doing to us, because they're controlling the music. I remember back in the days, I used to hear good music on the radio, and I always stress that, because the way these young brothers are acting nowadays, they got a lot of them acting like girls. I'm sorry to say that on live, but, and no disrespect to, any community out there, but we need strong men out here. We don't need chumps, and I don't know. That's all I wanted to say.
No, you made an interesting point, just about the fact that we should be able to just get into the continent for free, because today I was watching an interview that Wodamaya did with Professor Lumumba, and he was saying that, there shouldn't be the challenges that Africans or people like people from the diaspora have, like when they're visiting the country or the continent, or trying to move around the continent, is that they may be harassed, or you have to pay so much for visas, and it's just like ridiculous. Like we should, even if we pay like a little fee or something just for like security, to say, okay, this person's entered the country, they're living on this date, whatever. So we need to start breaking down those sort of barriers, so that people may be willing to travel around the continent more freely, and it just brings us more together. What Amaya said, how many times he's been like arrested or deported because he's from West Africa. It's just absolutely ridiculous. We definitely need to come together. We are uniting, we're coming together, but definitely we need to break down the barriers. And it's really nice, because a lot of us from the diaspora, we're coming together and we're showing them that, look, we are united, we're coming together, we're united, and we're coming strong. Like, we're coming strong, and we're not giving up. Sorry, we've got is he still there, Hamza?
I'm still here.
Yeah, sorry, what did you want to say to us? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Hello, Hamza? Yes, I can hear
Can you
you
hear me now?
now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry. I thought I
Yes.
pressed on mute. No, I was just saying, it doesn't matter whether it's Biden or Trump that's there. Plus, me, I don't vote, so I stopped voting years ago. because I know the machine will still be fed no matter what. So, at the end of the day, like the brother said, if black people leave America, America pretty much would lose half of what its wealth is. Because every 10 years, musically, black people create something every 10 years. It's like a cycle. So, one, the music is just, we do not know how strong the impact of the fact that how these people are like parasites when it comes to us. That's what we have to understand. You know, it's like a host and a parasite. And they're pretty much the parasite. So we have to get to the point where we have to understand. If we stay here, it's going to be what? Another 400 years? So we're going to deal with the crap for 400 years and then get a change? If that's what people are assuming. I think that's what some people assume. If another let's try it for another 400 years and maybe it'll change the Caucasian mindset. If it hasn't changed in 400 years, how is it that you think another 400 years would make the European evolve out of the barbarism that he is? You know, the European just tried to civilize his barbarism, but true to his core, he's barbaric. Now, the brother Shango, those two books that you just spoke about, Noam Chomsky is that man. If people need to find out who Noam Chomsky is, because most of them do not know who Noam Chomsky is, the intellect that he is. And the book, Manufacturing Consent, people have to understand. That's why every time the European go and invade a country, he confiscates the television and he confiscates the radio. Because for him to control the populace of the country that he's going to invade, he has to control those two things to tell the people, oh, we're coming to democratize you and all the other fallacies that they bring when they go and invade a country. But yet, to get the people's mind there, like Noam Chomsky said, you have to program the people by showing them images that, remember the Russians were bad. Then after the Soviet Union was gone, the Arabs were bad because you showed every Rambo film. So you were putting in the public's mind that Arabs are so bad because eventually the Caucasian plan is to go violate the Arabs, to have a reason to go invade the Middle East. So they took 10, 15 years to program the public. That is the manufacturing that people do not understand. So you show every movie from True Lies, so he's a terrorist, he's going to hijack the plane, so you're going to justify violating Arabs. Now, when Africans get to a point, if they can get strong, you're going to find reasons to violate Africans again, because you're doing the same thing with the Chinese. Even though the Chinese do not benefit us, it's the same propaganda that's being put out there about how bad the Chinese are, but yet the European doesn't look in the mirror and say that you've been the most savage out of every race that you encountered.
Wow.
Even the Chinese, he's violated the Japanese. The Japanese is almost close in mentality to the Caucasian, so the Japanese have violated the Chinese too. So the Chinese have his own conflict with the Japanese, because most people don't know history to that point. So they don't understand how the European has affected everyone that he's encountered.
Oh my God. Yeah.
The same, and Carter G. Woodson also, excellent book, Carter G. Woodson, where he says that the slave would make a door and put himself outside. If mess it up, tell him anymore to go outside, make a door. He created his own door. So we have to get to the point where the decolonization, like Professor Lumumba says, and we have to start getting to the point where we have to start re-educating ourselves here and on the continent, because the issues are there also. But we have to make it a joint effort, because without Africa, black people in the Western Hemisphere, we're not going to survive. We can't do this alone. The Chinese do it because the Chinese, if you go and take a poll, at least 90% of the people in China, they consider themselves Chinese. So even if they're outside of China, they have a representation, because China is the bully pulpit for them. So if you violate a Chinese person, the Chinese government can sanction you. They can do whatever. They can do a whole bunch of thing to that country. But on the continent, there's no cohesion. So black people can get violated no matter where they are in any part of the world. So who's going to come to their aid? If you're not going to unify on the continent, how are you going to be unified in a way you can say, oh, leave that African alone in China and stop hurting him?
Yeah, you know,
But
your point.
Yeah, he's amazing. The propaganda is so deep. He just made me think about all the subliminal messages that are sent through the television and even the radio. If you really listen, I know. I woke up like early morning hours in the U.S. and I came across something on LinkedIn. It's like a job site. I'm assuming they have it in most places. And the ad was a Coca-Cola ad, and it was a sister with rollers in her hair and a scarf on, a bandana in the kitchen. And the ad said, "Drink what your mama gave you." And it was a Coca-Cola ad. And I'm like, hold up. First of all, I'm offended because my mother never gave me Coca-Cola. We didn't do sodas and things like that because my mom always called them government juice, right? So she would never give that to us. But then it was mimicking the rap song, Shake What Your Mama Gave You, right? So it was drink what your mama gave you, and it was a Coca-Cola. And I'm like, I don't believe this. So I was kind of like in a doze because I was half asleep. I said, when I get up in the morning, I am gonna write. I am offended. Da, 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 da. I read the comments underneath, and it was for some kind of art contest that these people were doing for the advertisement. So everybody, a bunch of Caucasian males talking about how beautiful the coloring is on this ad and the poster. Nobody's saying how offensive it is. So when I got up in the morning, I looked for it. I couldn't find it anywhere. So I don't know if it slipped by mistake and it was posted, or someone from the company noticed it and took it down immediately. I don't know what happened, but we know that is not the first time that kind of advertisement has come across and been pushed out into the community. The single mother episode, all of that.
No, I think maybe someone raised some concerns and it was pulled, because why would it just go so quickly? And you're right, there's been so many adverts that I don't know whether they like, what I've realized is that some advertisers, they target the Black community when it comes to some racial issues because they want attention. Because it seems that, like, if they put something out there to sort of highlight in their brand,
they want the black dollar.
They will react.
They want the black dollar. That's it.
They use us each time, and you see it. You see it in these messages, and it's just like, that's just such a low blow. Like, can't you leave us alone? Like,
like the sister said earlier. You know what? The propaganda is way deeper than you ever think. What you see as Hollywood is in fact the artistic branch of white supremacy. That's it. Let me give you one example alone. One. But there are so many. You do remember the movie Avatar with the blue aliens, remember? Mm-hmm. All right. Let me break it down to you quickly. Do you remember these humans? They go to a foreign planet, they invade the planet, they took over the natural resource. Doesn't ring you a bell? They took over the natural resource, they destroy everything. And the blue alien, they try their best to survive. They live in harmony with nature. Ring your bell? Okay, listen close. Look. Those humans with the high technology, all white people, all of them. Now, look, the blue alien, primitive, we can call them primitive, right? They did not even invent the wheel. Not even. They still have bows, sticks, knives, and all that, right? All of them are portrayed by Black people. And now, who's the savior in the movie again? The white man again.
Man, that's always the case.
See? And I have.
Let me tell you how I saw Avatar 7 times. 7 times. And I kept saying, all they doing is emulating Africa. That tree is a baobab tree of Africa. That was the tree of life. And I
Exactly.
kept taking my son to see it. I took my mother to see it. I made friends go with me. The only other movie that I did that with was Sankofa. When Sankofa came out, that was many years ago. I had the director sign a poster for me. I made all of my friends go because I'm like, if you don't know where you come from, you don't know where you're going.
Exactly.
Exactly.
The
And
next movie, Wakanda. That was it. I watched it several times because it had value to it.
So
that's
keep
what
in mind, it's it's
reminds.
it's a it's a very old project, a very old plan since a long time. Like I said, these people are very patient, very smart, very patient, very articulate. And while we twerk, while we dance, while we do stupid challenge, they're working. And they're working smart. They're working very smart. They keep pushing their agenda. Remember, the and now in those TV series and movies, the gay agenda, gays everywhere, especially in the black community. Gay, 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 gay. Do you think it's innocent? Do you really think it's just for the entertainment? Do you remember the TV series called what's his name? Empire. Remember Empire? You see this abomination called a TV series. Really, really, we see the message they try to spread around us. I told you, it's the artistic branch of the white supremacy. Once you see it, you good.
I think, for me, I can't stress how important it is to really exercise a level of awareness, a level of consciousness. Thinking about what we listen to, down from the music to what we allow, like what we watch on the TV, like, because there's so much out there that it's made to captivate our minds and control us. But I'm really happy that so many of us are, including myself, we're awake, and I'm like, I see it for what it is, and I'm like, hell no, 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 no. I know that, like, a lot of the black community, they've not reached that stage yet of like being awake, but at the same time, I'm like, I hope that they do start to wake up, because before it's too late, basically. Because as you rightly said, Sandra, there's so much out there that's feeding our minds and colonizing us,
Distractions.
keep you
Exactly.
chance, as you say, and just to keep you in bondage. But you
Mm-hmm.
said something quite interesting. Like, I think those lyrics also came from Bob Marley as well. If you don't know like where you're coming from, then there's no way that you'll know where you're going. No way. So you have to study history. If you don't know, Shango always talks about information, education. Education is not just about going to college or university, but really immersing yourself in the textbooks. You know, just immersing yourself in the information. Finding out is knowing, and traveling gives you great insight. Reading and traveling, oh my goodness, you'll be so surprised. I know a lot of people, like the black community as well. They have never traveled maybe outside of America, because of you, as you rightly said, that's all they know, like, is this particular state. But I would challenge people like that to take a trip outside of the US, take a trip to Africa. Choose a country, as you're doing. You're taking your son to several different countries on the continent. How amazing! How amazing!
Yeah,
Like,
even when he was like 10 years old, I took him on a Nickelodeon cruise because he loved all the cartoon characters. And I kept asking him, like, what do you want for your birthday? What do you want? All he wanted was to be slimed. If you know Nickelodeon, you know they have this green slime.
yes,
That's
of
all
course.
he wanted. He wanted to be on the game show and he wanted to be slimed. So I'm like, how am I going to get this boy slimed if I don't take him on a cruise? So we went on a cruise and they had a private island, and that was his first time like being on a boat. And I thought about it and I'm like, he hasn't been on a train to travel. He hasn't been on a boat. He hasn't been on a plane. These are all the ways that we conquer those fears. Start off with something small and then move on to something bigger, you know? And as far as the propaganda, like, I just want to come back to that. Today, I called the cable company and I said, I haven't watched my television in like 8 months. It's just sitting there. I've already returned the box. Why am I paying the cable bill? Because the cable and the internet is connected. See, that's how they catch you, right?
Mhm.
So I said, I would like to get rid of the cable. I said, I'm tired of you all putting images on that look like me. I am forced to pay for channels for languages that I
think there's a problem with the connection there. San, you look like you wanted to say something. Maybe if she comes out and then comes back in, let's have a look. We'll add you back in. San. All right, let's before you go ahead, guys, you can support the channel. Just give us a thumbs up. Do go ahead and subscribe if you're new. You can support via PayPal or I think I've now got super chat, so that's amazing. So you guys can go and support. San, we'd love to hear from you. Unmute your mic.
Am I muted?
Yeah, there you go. You're unmuted.
Okay, I'm good. You can hear me? All right. No, I just wanted to say there's a lot that, I just can't get it all out at one time, and basically if you look at it from a perspective, because I can only speak of the African American perspective because that's pretty much the life that I live. And look how they do the Native Americans over here. If you go to some of those, they call them reservations. They're like really poor too, those Native Americans. And you know what they did to them? They just tricked them with some alcohol and had them sign over all their land. I mean, if the Native Americans can't get no love, where you think the black man gonna fit in at? We were only brought over here to be workers. That's it. We did the job that the Native Americans couldn't do. As soon as those Spanish conquistadors found that their diseases was killing all them Native Americans, well, let's go get them Africans because they can withstand all this, and they'll work harder, So it's just like fast forward till today. Where you think we're ever going to get the respect to be equal, and why would we want to be equal with them? We should be proud to be who we are, and it's nothing wrong with a little bit of separation if it's going to do good for your people in the nation, right? You can't be really mad at white people for what they're doing. You can't be mad at white people for running the world. I mean, like, if the roles was reversed, then you know what I'm saying? Like, we should be fighting for that next spot is what I'm trying to say. Just like the Chinese are. They coming for that throne. That's what we need to start coming for that throne.
Most definitely. It's about,
if that makes sense,
unification amongst the black community. As you rightly said, the Chinese, they've been doing, they're mobilizing, they're thinking about legacy building, and they're thinking about the future, and they know already that there's so much greatness in Africa, and the Chinese people are very much on code with regards to what they want from Africa, and what they must get within a certain time frame.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if the black community, we're just sitting back, we're just relaxed, like we're having like arguments, ridiculous arguments that are not progressive. There's no unification. There's no talks about building, and in terms of economics as well, that's important. Moving our money out of the West and out of the Americas and coming together and building something great on the continent. If we're not doing that, I'm telling you, I mean, it's not just the Chinese that are doing it. Europeans have been doing it. The Americans, they've been, God, they've been exploiting, they've been robbing Africa for all of these years. And we have love for the continent, and there's so much that we can bring. And if only we recognize the power that lies within us, and
well, you said it yourself, Lady Visionary. You said it. You said they know we're special people.
Oh, yes.
They know we're special people. Why would you want to wake a special people up? It's like, why would you want to wake people up with superpowers? And knowing we could run this country, if we could just get together and unite, it's a wrap. It's going to go back to the old times. But why? That's why they push the negative on us.
I've always said that, because even when it comes to development. There's so many different development initiatives run by the Western Americas in Africa. And I've always wondered, like, with so much money going into Africa from all these development programs, why are we not seeing the changes that we should see with so much money and so many hundreds, if not thousands, of NGOs working in countries or even on the continent? Why are we not seeing that change? And because it's like, if we do what we or what they want, if we move these people out of poverty, like, these people have the potential to be great, but they don't see it. So we need to keep them there. You know what I mean? But thankfully, as I said, like, a lot of us are not asleep, and things are changing. And yeah, I just can't wait, because I think, like, they haven't seen the best of us yet. Like, it's going to get crazy. Most definitely, it's going to get crazy. Like, it's like, move out the way. We're coming. We see it for what it is. There's nothing, like, we're bulldozering down those barriers. Like, as we said previously in another conversation, like, we're connecting with people that we wouldn't probably normally connect with. People are coming together. People are doing amazing things, even now as we speak, and even greater things are coming. So I'm looking forward to that, and I just can't wait. Most definitely.
I mean, the lid's already off, though. The lid is already off. The news is out. You just got to start spreading the news. Just as easy as they push their negative narrative, we just combat that with positive.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think we spoke about this as well. Like, fear is crippling a lot of people from just taking that leap of faith, because especially when you're used to a particular life in the West or in America, and we spoke a lot about a lot of the propaganda that's put out there with regards to the image of Africa. It's very negative. So you're thinking, oh my goodness, but what about healthcare? But what about this? What about that? And it's like, no, some of the best healthcare professionals are actually on the continent. And I think Andrew was talking about the fact that the lady in Tanzania, she got some dental work done for £200. Sorry, it's $200, but like in America, she paid $800. And on the continent, your money can really, your money can really stretch a long way if you're smart with it. That's called financial literacy. So if you're smart with your money, you can really make your money work for you, and you can live a phenomenal life on the continent and still make an impact, because you're not just thinking about yourself, you're also thinking about the local people, the community, like all of that. So yeah, it's going to be it's powerful. It's very, very powerful. Shango, what did you want to say to us?
In any kind of situation, you have to be smart. Just because you leave your country, you go somewhere else, means it's fine. No, like we said earlier in other shows, you have to be smart, you have to have a strategy, and you have to have money saved. If you think just because you go to Africa is all I have to do is bring myself and my hands in the pockets, it won't work. It will not work. So again, in order to know that, you need to educate yourself to get the information. And guess what? I found this book very interesting. I was pissed because I found out only earlier. This book,
Black Power.
Blueprint for Black Power, a moral, political, and economic imperative to the 21st century by Amos N. Wilson. This guy in this book literally explain how to connect with the continent, how to treat with the continent, how to make business, how to politically and money wise empower ourselves. This book, look, is huge, but so interesting. It's literally a recipe to create wealth between us. So now, if you don't know, you don't know. Now you do. So let me put the link.
Type it in the chat so people can also have it in the chat, because Black Power, definitely, I'd love to look at that book. Most definitely. There's so much information now, so much information in terms of you know, like we've spoken about again, like the fact that like America, like what is it, the black impact when it comes in terms of economics, like how the black community, they spend 1.2 trillion dollars a year annually, you know, and a lot of that is just wasteful spending. So I'm like, if we, and even in the UK, the black community in the UK, you know, a lot of wasteful spending. So if we started to think about like how we spend our money and redirecting that money to do great things, to invest, because that's one of the things the black community don't do as well, is like when, and you've spoken about it, Shango, before, like a lot of the time when you spend, like the black community is spending, it's more on liabilities rather than assets and investments, and like building a legacy and leaving a legacy for the next generation. So for me, I'm all about investment. So like when I get my money, how can I invest that on the continent? You know, buying land. Am I going to build a property? What can I leave behind for my children? Not just leave behind, but also how can I nurture them as well? How can I lay the foundation to help pave the way for them as well? So it's not just about giving them, but also teaching them and leaving them with something that they can work with when I'm not around, you know.
Hey, lady
So,
visionary.
yeah.
But you know what? This says, I know you probably heard this saying before. If you want to hide something from a black man, put it in a book.
Mm. Yes, I have.
So that's just shame. Like all those powerful books out there, you know, but
Yeah, because unfortunately, like when I was looking at the research, like we don't, that like not, I don't want to say we don't, but like when you're thinking about the statistics, it's saying the percentage in terms of black people who pick up a book and read, it's very, very small. We don't invest in books, and we don't read books as much as
but
like
lady
our.
visionary, don't you think that go back to slavery? Because if you knew how to read back in the 1800s or 1700s, you get beat for that or killed. You weren't allowed to learn how to read. And then if you go a little bit further, if a black man that wasn't educated versus the black man that was educated, the black man that's educated is going to get teased. I don't know if that makes sense. It's like, you know, oh, you think you're smart. Oh, you read a few.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Nah, I'm reading the book.
It's part
No,
of the
I'm
plan.
just, yeah. I was just saying, like, everything that we're going through right now, not everything, and I know a lot for African Americans, it could all be tied back to slavery. Something that they already knew this was going to have the effect till this day. That's why we're so docile.
Sorry, I'm just trying to sort something out in the chat. I think something was going on, so I had to just sort that out.
No
That's
problem.
all sorted now. Um, yeah, sorry, you made a very good point. Very, very good point. I mean, you know, putting things in the book. It's true, and you know, our white counterparts, they know this as well. They know it. So we definitely need to start doing better. We need to gain knowledge, understanding, read more. Think about how we can, you know, also instill that within our children. How can we build wealth, like, and because that's one of the problems amongst the black community, wealth, building wealth, you know. It's been a great conversation today. I've really appreciated like all the panelists coming in and, you know, sharing your thoughts on the topic of President Trump not really taking this all very well.
Good riddance.
And you know, the fact that, I mean, there's just been mixed emotions with regards to obviously Joe Biden. You know, people are just like, people are saying, you know, there won't be any change. It's just another white supremacy that pretends maybe to be for the people or for the black community as well, or inclusive of the black community. But we won't see any change, and that will be unfortunate, really. I would hope that there'll be, even if it's a minute change for the Black community, but again, we shall see. Only time will tell. But I think a lot of us know what the outcomes will be, and I think a lot of people will be hopeful, but they probably won't get the results that they're looking for when it comes to this new president. So yeah, that's all I've got to say, really. Any last final words, Sam, before you go? We're wrapping up now.
All right, that's cool. I mean, I just want to say real quick, we'll never get where we need to get to, and as long as we're having conversations saying what's this white president going to do or what's that white president going to do, until we come together and say what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Stop depending on these people.
That's true. Yeah, that's it, because we are leaders in our own right. And I think until we understand that, then we're just going to be stagnant. Until we understand that we are leaders, we don't need to wait for someone to say, all right, you can go, you can eat, you can do this, you can do that. But really exercising control over our own lives and making decisions that's going to impact our lives and the lives of our children. And I think that's what it is. We talk about it so much on this channel. It's mindset and believing in ourselves, because I think that's one of the things that we, the Black community, sometimes I feel like we don't believe in ourselves enough and believe in our strength and our power moving forward. So definitely needs to be a mindset shift. And we speak about this a lot. Shango is probably saying, yeah, like this is what we say. But thank you so much, San. I really appreciate you. And
Thank you.
I hope again you have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Take care. Django.
Well, to wrap it up, it's very easy. It doesn't matter who's the next president of the United States. It doesn't matter, especially for us. You see, I'm quite sure Asians, Chinese, they don't care who's the next president. You know why? Because they work on their community. They build economic groups. They educate their children. So they have the economic power. They don't care. You can be whoever you want. It's fine. And like I said, this man explain us what to do. So it's Amos and Wilson explain us in a book. Dr. Claude Anderson explain us what to do. Economic group again. I can go even further. Marcus Garvey, 200 years ago, told us what to do. Practice economic group. And you have one example in the United States. It was called Black Wall Street. And it worked. It worked until they destroyed it. Excuse me?
It did work, but look what they did.
Yeah, they destroyed it. So it means rebuild it. Because you know what? Listen, explain me. I know I'm going to offend a lot of people. I know. Why they do not burn down churches?
I won't say anything on that, but yeah. You go. Well, I think that's partly to do with control of the masses.
Ah, thank you. But you see, they destroy Black Wall Street because they know. And when you are financially free, you're good. It doesn't matter who's the next president. So again, let me say it again. Practice economic group. You guys need to be financially independent. And for this, you need to educate yourself. I mean by that, get the information. In this book, for instance, I already showed it at least 3 times. This book, Dr. Claude Anderson, Marcus Garvey, and a lot of other people already talk about this. See, thank you. But really, I urge you to buy the book. If we can buy Air Jordans for $200, if we can buy Versace suits for $5,000, we can buy a book for $50. Please. It's investment on knowledge. If you have the knowledge, you have everything. And then with this knowledge, you practice. You try again and again. And with the knowledge that you have, you know what you got to do? Pass the knowledge around you. Because the knowledge within yourself is useless. Pass the knowledge around you. And the natural selection, one more time, will do the rest. because some people they won't believe you. Fine, do what you got to do, and when they get see you wealthy, oh, you're gonna have a lot of friends. Believe me. So that was my 2 cents, and as usual, it was a pleasure being here.
Africa made a point. She said they did burn down black churches.
Yeah, they did, and where are they now? They rebuild it. See, they allow it. They just
Yeah,
allow it.
yeah, that's such a good point, because I think a lot of people look back and they'll talk about, what happened, um, and they will say like that was burnt down. So like if we build it, they're just going to burn it back down again. But we just basically need to go for it. Basically, we just need to say, right, this happened, but it's a different time now. Like they can't mess with us this time. Like we're more prepared because we know information, and like we're better prepared now than maybe how we were back then. So it's time to rebuild. It's time to rebuild. Most definitely.
Exactly. Time to rebuild and put on the work, because if we don't put on the work, nothing is going to happen. So now we do not have any excuse. 20 years ago, probably we didn't have the information, which is not true. But now we do. We have a powerful tool, a phone. With this phone, I can have access to any kind of information. So people, you have no excuse. Do the research, read, educate yourself, put on the work. You'll see. That's it. That was my 2 cents.
Was making a point here. We also need to be into investment, money,
Exactly.
color.
A
Exactly.
quick advice, if I may say. You know, don't get me wrong. I love nice sneakers. I do. But you know what? One day I understand something. Instead of buying those fancy sneakers, right? That cost a lot of money. I decided to buy stock markets about the same brand. Do
Yeah,
you see
yeah.
the difference?
You were saying, weren't you?
Yeah,
Instead of like buying certain products, why not invest in the stock market?
exactly. That's what I did.
You're going to get returns as opposed to like, like putting your money into liabilities. Like you're going to get nothing in return. And
Ex-
then those people are actually the ones that are building wealth.
See, that's exactly the point. It took me a while to understand it, especially when you're young. You're reckless. But as soon as I finally understood the process, I said, hey, I love those fancy stuff, but what instead of besides the pleasure, what do I have? Nothing. And in the meantime, I make some people rich. So you know what? Those fine sneakers, I stopped buying them. I bought stock market. The phone that I show you, I bought stock market. I love to go to see a movie at theaters, like the Marvel stuff. I bought Disney stock market.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
I did. Yes, you see, when you think different, you're part of the ownership. You own the thing because
It's that shift. Like you speak about it, we speak about it. That like when it comes in, that mindset also comes with knowing and information and
exactly,
just reflection and thinking, why are the things not working out for me? Like you need to start thinking differently. And I hope a lot of people listening in will learn. And you're giving your testimony so other people can learn and think about their finances. Like he's
exactly,
not costing anything. He's giving you this information for free. Like we're giving you this information for free. And it's powerful. Like in terms of what it can do for people, if only they start to think, right, how am I also how am I spending my money? Because the black community, we love to buy all different types of Jordans, all different type of sneakers. We want to have the latest brand. We want to look good. We want to look rich, but we're not actually rich.
nope. We give away our money.
We could be. We have the potential to be.
Exactly,
We have like we have the potential to be. But again, we have to start thinking differently, and we have to stop allowing the media, like all these different propagandas, to feed our minds and say, oh, you need to look good, you need these pair of Jordans, you need this. And And by the time you start saying, yes, I need that, you end up with so many different materialistic items, some of which you don't even wear
Exactly.
there, and it's depreciated in value. Come on, guys. We need to, I think we can, most definitely we can.
And one day
But
you're gonna have to throw them away because they're used, they're old. So you're gonna throw them away after all. And then what's the result of all this? Of course, yes, you had pleasure, but the pleasure, which is expensive pleasure, by the way. And at the end of the day, you throw away your sneakers, and that's it. You're done until you buy a new pair to retrieve that pleasure, that sensation that you have once. So I said, no, I'm done. I'm done. I'm going to buy stocks about these. I'm going to buy stocks about the Disney. I want to be a part of it. I'm going to make my money. This is investment. You don't lose the money. You invest. See, that's one of the way to build wealth. So you have to start very young as possible, as early as possible. Be patient. Read about it because you have books about it that explain how does it work. You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to hold a master degree. No, what you need is to have the information. That's it.
that's, that's
That's it.
it. And you talk about patience, because I feel like also when it comes to, like, a lot of people in the Black community, they want to see that immediate income with investment, like, but it's all about being patient and investment, growing your investment over time. Like, someone may look at, like, I don't know, $100 investment, like if you're getting like $100, for example, a month, they're like, oh, that money is small, but over time it builds up. This is just a small example, but over time, with patience and everything, it builds up, it grows. You're
I
not
have
getting
another example to go further, to go your way. You all know Facebook, right? Everybody knows Facebook. And I guess a lot of us have a Facebook account, right? Okay, let me explain you something. By opening opening an account in Facebook, you're making Mark Zuckerberg richer. That's it. All
Mhm.
you have to do is open an account and post stuff. When you post anything, it's free anyway. When you post anything, you know what? You give the platform visibility. And every time you post something on Facebook, you give more visibility to the platform. So guess what's going to happen? You're going to drone uh, a commercial. And that's how Mark Zuckerberg gets his money, from commercial. So
Mhm.
in 20 years, 2 decades later, Mark Zuckerberg became a billionaire.
Yes,
Because of who? Because of you people. You see?
exactly.
Now, it took me a while to understand that because I had a Facebook account too. I used to have one. I said, you know what? Stop. No, screw this. I'm gonna buy stock from Facebook. I'm gonna
Wow.
get my money back. I'm done because I made this guy rich. I want my money back. So I invest stock market into Facebook. Yes, people. Yes. And I'm getting money from it. But you have to be patient. It took him 20 years, 2 decades. So don't think the day after tomorrow you're gonna get the money. You have to be patient. It's investment. It's not quick money. No, it doesn't work. You got to be a drug dealer or do something illegal. Then you're gonna have quick money. But we don't want that here. We need to be smart and patient. I'm getting money out of Facebook now as we speak. I don't have,
Wow.
you know what? I am making money while I'm sleeping, and I'm not joking about it.
We, the Black community, we need to learn from this.
Exactly.
Like, as I said, this is information that can be beneficial to each and every one of us who is listening out there. It's time that we started to build wealth within the Black community, and yeah, just transform our lives. Like, this is as powerful. Thank you so much for sharing.
My pleasure.
Yeah, and I hope everybody out there has found it useful. I'm sure it has been informative. Um, like, we're about to finish up now, but we've got Renelle in the background. I do go ahead and like the stream if you haven't already done so. And you can support via PayPal or a super chat. Please go ahead and support. Yes, hi Renelle. How are you?
Hi, Lady Visionary.
Oh, it's
Mm,
been a while. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. We're just about to wrap up now, and then I saw you.
Yeah.
I said, okay, let me let you in. See what
Thank,
you've got to contribute to the topic.
thank you for that. Greetings to the brother Shango too.
Greetings, my
Um,
brother.
Always a pleasure to come across this platform. I come here very often. Um, yeah, I just wanted to shout out. Like I arrived like 4 minutes ago. Just heard the last words of Shango, which are extremely nice. Like use your savings. If you have savings, invest them. Money that is staying in your account with no purpose is wasted, right? And just as you open an account in Facebook, it is very nice. I like this idea. It's something that you think you will have for life. Remember that I opened my account in 2009 and I'm still having it. So it has been like 11 years there. If I had bought the stock in 2009 too, I would have been richer, both in the social connection that I was able to do thanks to Facebook, but in the financial sense also. So it's a very good idea to invest in these companies that are likely to be very stable, and especially they are like trust. I see them as trust funds. So it is a very good advice there. However, I wanted to adjust a little side before like the closing. We should pay attention also to the fact that these enterprises are not working on their own. There is a lot of group work. So we see Mark Zuckerberg is the one that every news, Forbes, media, magazine is filming, but there are hundreds of engineers running these architectures. There are hundreds of workers running these systems. So we need to understand this. How do they do to make people come together and pursue a goal that is going to be this big? And there is a requirement of thinking about that. How do you? So it's like I call it a science of promises, right? And I don't understand it perfectly. It's a study that I'm doing myself. Like I told you, I've been working with this light manufacturing on the continent, and the
Okay.
really hard part is really to make people come together and have them um, stay strong for a long time and promise them something and have them stay until the promise is realized. This is a very, very hard thing because the, the teams we build are so small and the landscape is so weak, so low that whenever one person, and there's also a lot of individualistic, hyper individualistic. So whenever anybody has a better opportunity, even slightly better, even momentarily better, they just jump on it. So I call it the science of promises, of held promises. So it is a question of this. I just wanted to put it out there. Like, how do we build this type of large teams that do this type of big things? Because if you kill all the engineers I mean, we don't have to kill them, but if they all disappear, then all the infrastructure doesn't work. Our investment is lost and stuff like that. So there is a question of how to bring people together and have them sacrifice to produce this type of big things. Okay, that's just what I wanted to talk
Sorry,
about.
was that a question to say how can we like mobilize people to like come together in regard to group economics? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, like for example, you have a company, you have a business idea. Like I'm impressed. I have this business in the on the continent, which I call light manufacturing. That is, people are doing their stuff, and I come in there and I say, okay, you can improve your what you are doing with using this type of light machines, very very small machines, right? And there is a question of how then once one person has succeeded, I thought in my mind I was like, okay, I just need to focus on the success of one person. I mean, these are street sellers. They sell food on the street. And what we do is that instead of having them ventilate the fire with their hand, we have a small system that we put there that will take care of the fire itself. So it works on a motor, right? So we thought that if at least one of them will work, then everybody will copy. But that did not happen. People did not copy. And we were thinking, okay, maybe we can bring them together and utilize their resources. But people are not doing that. So I'm not think I could decide that all the people are stupid, But I'm thinking that there's something in my way of doing, something in the promises that I'm giving these people, which is not right. So there is I call it a science of promises. I have a failure of conveying the promises that it's like you can see a miracle ahead, you can see some nice future, but you have a failure of describing that future for your people to follow. So my question is, how do you do that? And let's think about it. And if Shango, for example, has a book that he wants to refer about this type of topic, I will be also very interested. So this is one difficulty that I face in my activity on the continent.
Shango, did you have an answer for him? Just like the connection was breaking up.
Yeah, I'm
So I
sorry
need-
because you were breaking up. I didn't understand fully the question. Can you repeat that, please?
Oh, apologies. I don't know why I'm breaking up. Do you hear me now?
Better.
yeah, just make your question short so that he understands it.
Yes. So um, my question is like this: what should I do to make people believe the
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 project.
promise the promise that once we complete this project, it will be the sacrifices will be worth it. This is essentially the question. Like,
Oh, is that for your workers specifically?
yes, it's for my workers, and I want to say that I did something that I did one thing and it has shared. So my first strategy was to say, let me use prototype. I will take just one person and test the idea on this one person, and that person will make progress in his we call it chiffre d'affaires, business activity. And once that person would have made this progress, I could show to everybody, like, look, this has happened. Indeed, that person made that progress, but the other people are not catching up, are not willing to jump in the wagon. And I'm thinking maybe it's because the promised returns are too low. I don't understand really. So, but I think the main problem that I have is a storytelling problem. How do I tell the story of a better future such that many people want to jump into it? That's it.
Okay, Shango, did you want to help him out?
I'll try my best. If I understand correctly, you have a dilemma. A dilemma. You try to convince your worker to go a certain way, right, in order to succeed.
Yes,
Okay. And some of them are reluctant, right?
yes,
Okay. My understanding is in that situation, because it happens to me in my work, in that situation, you need to identify who is willing to go with you. That's
Mm.
one. The person you identify who wants to go with you, who wants to go further, you don't need to convince that person. This person will become sorry, your agent, if I may say so. This person, let me explain you why. Sometimes because you are the boss, you're the top dog, and people say, well, but you're the top dog, you give orders and you think we're just going to have to obey you, and that's about it. So you're not, what's your oh, I'm sorry, what's your credibility, because you're using your power as a boss. Now, when one of your workers is willing to follow you because he trusts you enough, he believes in your project enough, you know what this person is going to do? Like I said, the agent, this person will talk to the rest of your workers and convince them, because he has the authority, since he's a worker like him, he's the peer. They will understand, they will believe him more, even more than you. You know why? Because he doesn't have the authority to force anything upon them. I'm like you, I'm a worker like you, and I believe in the project, and let me explain you why it will work and how it's gonna work. You see, sometimes you have to use, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you're a Machiavellic person, you're a bad person. I'm just saying that you use the behavior of your worker, because you always have people who will not follow you, whatever you say, whatever you do, whatever you show. You have several type of people. Those who are neutral, they say, ah, well, I don't know, it depends on when the wind blows. There are some people that will follow you to death. There are some people that will never follow you, whatever you say, whatever you do. You need to identify these people. And once you identify those who are willing to follow you, these will be your ambassador. Yeah, that's a better word, that agent.
Mm-hmm.
These people will be your ambassadors. Why? Because they believe in the project and they have more power to convince the others because they are on the same levels. I'm working like you. I'm not here to order you anything. I'm trying to show you why it works because we're on the same level. Well, but what about the boss? Forget about the boss. He doesn't know enough. He doesn't know better. I'm the worker just like you. And most of the time, that's the way it works. You need to convince the right person, and the right person will convince the rest for you. I hope I did myself clear enough. Is that helping?
I
Yes, it
think
is
that was good
helping.
because also I was thinking as well, like you could introduce incentives. So it's some sort of incentive that could be um, some sort of award for achievements within within your company, and it also may include some financial incentives as well. And again, the people who are not performing, you may need to think whether they're appropriate for your vision. And then you may need to start thinking about a process of elimination because there are people who need jobs and will be willing to help you build your vision. So you need to go back, I think, to the drawing board and see how you're going to move forward because having the right people on board would be beneficial.
True.
You would benefit from someone is saying that you would benefit from a business mentor. So that's another thing as well. Consider um, sourcing a business mentor that can really sit you down and look at sort of business analysis and how you can move your business forward with the right people because it's important to have, I guess, your employees on board, and they're very much aware of the vision and they are willing to work hard to achieve the goals set out. And you have to make it clear to them what the goals are as well. So is that clear? Is that transparent? Do they know what they're working towards? Are there incentives in place that would encourage them? And yeah, again, can you sort of source help from a business mentor as well? I hope that has been helpful. We are about to wrap up now.
Yes, it was very helpful. I got the, I mean, you without, I guess it's because of the interruptions, but without clearly, um, without understanding clearly my situation, you gave a very interesting points, and I noted those down. Like this ambassador idea, I like it. Um, so since it is the closing, I could make the precisions where you got wrong about what I'm doing, but it is the closing, and I think I should like stop, like we should stop here. So thank you again for having me on my platform.
Sorry, your connection. Thank you so much, Brunel. It's always a pleasure having you. You take care. Shango, we're also about to wrap up. Just tell the viewers about your channel, just in case anybody wants to come over and subscribe to your channel. Yeah, before we close.
All right. My channel is called the African Chronicles. Most of my content, unfortunately for you guys, is in French, but I'm working hard to put English contents. There are a couple of videos in English. I will put more very, very soon. I talk about cultural and financial emancipation. I invite entrepreneurs, workers, anyone who fight hard for the cause of Black people in Africa and the diaspora. So make yourself comfortable, guys. Subscribe, like the videos, and I promise you, more content in English is about to come. So just be patient with me.
Thank you, Shango. Please do go and subscribe to your channel. It's the African Chronicles, right?
That's right.
Um, Go over and support our brother by subscribing to his channel. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to have you, and I'll see you again in the next one,
With
Shango.
pleasure.
won't be any change, police brutality will still pretty much be the same. But offline, I think other people are saying actually we may actually start to see a change in terms of, again, police brutality towards the people. That may lessen or stop. Someone said it may stop, but I don't think so, because like this has been going on for far too long. So I don't think it's just going to be just like that. And as for Trump, he's being a really big baby right now. He's throwing his toys at the pram. I can imagine him like in January, like not wanting to leave the White House. Like, I don't know what to expect from this man. I literally don't know what to expect. But I don't think it's going to be, I don't think he's going to exercise that level of maturity. I don't think he's done that from the beginning up till now. Like, he's been very, very quiet. He's off playing golf. He just can't handle the situation. But for me, I am happy to see Trump go, because I've just had enough of him. Like, he just needs to go. Like what you're all saying now. Saying the sound was bad. I think that was Renell. The sound was bad for him. Yeah, sound. I think, can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me? Type 1, or yeah, type 1 if you can hear me. But I think the sound has been sorted out. I think that's when we were speaking to Renell, his sound was going in and out. But guys, that's all I've got for you. Thank you so much. Nothing will change. All these politicians are all the same, are on the same team. They are two wings on the same evil bird. Yeah, I think that's been like the general consensus with regards to what people are saying. Like, there will not be any change. But, I'm interested to see what happens, even though I can pretty much guess. I'm pretty interested to see how this plays out and how Trump leaves the White House. Like, is he gonna man up? Guys, do you think he will man up? Will he actually man up, like, and deal with this situation like a man? Anyway, guys, I think we've been here for we've spent almost 2 hours. So I am going to call it a night. It's pretty late here in the UK. And many of you guys know I am sorting out and packing at the moment, getting ready for my trip to Rwanda. I think I may do a behind the scenes of me like packing and things like that. We shall see. We shall see. But there's a lot happening behind the scenes. And I'm just praying and hoping that my flight doesn't get cancelled, because I'll probably be like Trump. I'll probably be crying. Anyway, you guys take care. That's all I have for now. You guys take care. Bye. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate your time.